Hi, everyone. Welcome back to school for the 2023-2024 school year. My name is Jay Seibert. I'm the media specialist here at Dugan School. Myself and the other related arts team members have put together videos for you just to introduce our programs and to put faces to the names that you probably hear when your kids come home to school and talk about school. So without any further ado, we're going to jump right into the media literacy program. The first thing I want to say is the best way to find out what happens in the media center is to check us out on all of our social sites. You can check out videos on YouTube, podcasts on Spotify, or any podcasting platform for that matter. You can follow us on Twitter, where we post all updated content, and Instagram as well. Check us out for all student created content. Thanks. And now for the obligatory About Me page. You could see my education. I have a background in graphic design, culinary arts, audio engineering. Eventually, I went to Monmouth University and got a degree in education, as well as a master's in special education. Fun fact, before I became a teacher, I was a martial arts instructor for over 10 years. As far as my teaching tenure here at Dugan, I've been here pretty much since 2014 with a tiny little sidetrack. I went to Marlboro Middle School between 2019 and 2020, where I was asked to fill the media specialist role there. During that time, the media specialist role opened up at Dugan, where I have come back and serve as the current media specialist at Dugan School. Well, the Media Center has had some pretty serious renovations over the past couple of years to modernize the space and make it more of a 21st century learning space. Those renovations include floors, new active panel boards. Over this summer, we've got a drop down projector screen with a 4K projector, as well as 4 new 55-inch flat screen monitors located around the room. As far as technology goes, we have a new set of Chromebooks in the Media Center, 3D printers, USB microphones, and broadcasting equipment. And on the library end of things, we have been updating our catalog as far as getting rid of older, outdated titles and updating them with newer titles that students will enjoy reading. So, more on that to come. I just wanted to give a brief overview of our curriculum. Obviously, I can't get into too many details for this video, but you'll have a good idea or good sense of what we're doing in there with your children. So, our K2 curriculum is really just like an introduction into design thinking, developing a growth mindset, changing our attitude towards just how we encounter problems and mistakes and things like that. Really developing that attitude of it's okay to make mistakes and look for creative solutions to problems. And if they fail, at least we're generating these creative ideas and looking for creative solutions. We also introduce basic computer literacy as far as typing, word processing, understanding, creating Google slideshows and things like that. We also spend some time coding, working with library skills, obviously, looking up books and databases and locating those books on the shelves. And we also do lots of read alouds. And with those read alouds, we will usually try to tie in some sort of STEM challenge. So, building challenges, design challenges, things like that. And grades 3 through 5 really just add on to the K2 curriculum, where we take those skills that they learn early on and kind of just build onto them a little bit further. Library skills go more in depth into research skills. How do we analyze sources of information, as far as, how do we know they're credible sources, things like that. Thinking critically about articles that we read, design thinking, thinking of creative solutions to problems. Computer literacy, we're just still developing, word processing skills, typing skills, Google Slides, spreadsheets, things like that. We get into coding, CAD design, 3D printing. We'll begin podcasting, video production, and web design, just to name a few things for grades 3 through 5. These are just a few of the online programs that we use in school and are also available for students at home. Mac and Via is our online database where students have access to thousands of ebooks and audiobooks. So if a student is looking for a book that may not be, a hard copy may not be available in the library, they could check Mac and Via to see if we have a digital copy available. Typing Club is our typing program. Although it's not mandatory that students use it at home, I highly encourage students to practice typing at home. They all have Typing Club accounts. They can go in and go through their typing lessons at home. Tinkercad is a favorite of students. It's our 3D CAD program. It's a free program. Students have student accounts where they can go in and they design all of their things. Lots of them wind up going into to the 3D printer and 3D print things. So students love Tinkercad. WeVideo, another fan favorite. It's our video editing program that we use in school. Every student in Marlboro has a WeVideo account, and so they can use that video editor anytime they want. Canva is a graphic design program. Although it is a paid program for education, it's free. So some of the older students, fourth and fifth graders, enjoy going into Canva and creating digital designs. Adobe Express, same thing. Adobe is a paid program. However, Adobe Express is a free version where students can create all sorts of things. They can create graphic designs, videos, editing photos, all sorts of things with Adobe Express. As far as coding is concerned, we have code.org and Scratch that we use a lot in the classroom, which are also available at home. So those are just a few of the programs. There is so much more that we just don't have time to get into. As far as book checkout is concerned, every student has the opportunity to check out a book most weeks unless the schedule doesn't permit. There is a limit to one book per checkout. Fifth graders are able to check out 2. There's a 2-week borrow time. For kindergarten, we keep it to 1 week just to get the students into the habit of returning their books on time. They can renew books if they need to. Also, if books aren't returned on time, late slips will go out. And if for some reason the book is still not returned, it may warrant a phone call or an email if necessary. And finally, I just wanted to quickly talk about DNN, which is our daily morning news and announcements program. All episodes are available on YouTube. It is produced by fifth graders mostly. This year, fifth graders go through an application process, very much like Safety Patrol. They apply to be part of the DNN news crew, whether they want to be news anchors, weather person, on the graphics team, on the editing team. There's lots of positions available for all students. Speaking of all students, DNN is not just an opportunity for fifth graders, but it is an opportunity for students from kindergarten through fifth grade. Everyone has an opportunity, whether they're saying the Pledge of Allegiance or, just being in a special segment or something like that. All students can get involved. I find that this is great for community building in our school and really enhances school culture. Please subscribe. In summary, I just wanted to say that while library may look a lot different than it did when we went to school, at the heart of media literacy is that art of storytelling, whether it's through video, through podcasting, or traditional book format. The heart of media literacy is and always will be storytelling. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me, and have a great night. Thanks. Bye.
Good evening. My name is Mrs. Pellisier. I am the general music teacher for Dugan Elementary School. I see all of your students once a week for 40 minutes from K all the way to 5th grade. I will give you a brief overview about what we do in each grade level. First of all, for kindergarten and first grade, we focus on movement and song, rhythm and steady beat. We learn about rhythm and percussion instruments, how to hold them, rest position, ready position, simple body percussion movements as well, and to prepare them to playing more complex instruments. In second and third grade, we get more into note reading, learning about our different notes, whole notes, quarter notes, the different rests also, and learning how to read the staff, incorporating them with musical games and musical songs as well. And we do that because in third grade, in the third marking period, we have our big recorder unit. The students tend to look forward to that, and most of the time it's because it's the first time they get a chance to play a wind instrument. In third grade, they'll be responsible for bringing the recorders and music folders to class on their designated music day. And we will also incorporate some technology such as Flipgrid to track their progress. Hopefully, this will motivate them to take an instrument with Mr. Young in fourth grade for the instrumental band program. In fourth grade, they will still see me, but on top of our singing and learning about melody and rhythm, we're going to incorporate a new instrument called the ukuleles. They are a string instrument, so this is the very first opportunity many of them, well, at least at Dugan, will have a chance to play a string instrument. We will be using chords and also melody to accompany our singing with this instrument. And then fifth grade, we traditionally have our fifth grade show. So we get back into singing, so we can really get a good firm grip on what we're going to do and as far as our theme. And also, we traditionally do this show about around Memorial Day, so May. So we have a while to look forward to it, though. But I'm very excited for this year. I hope your students are too, and I will be seeing them every week. Have a great day. Bye.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Purdy, and welcome back to my returning families, and welcome to our new Dugan families. This is my 10th year here at Dugan, and I am a mom to Natalie, and I have a dog named Socks. The reason I'm saying that is you may hear your children talk about them, so this way now you have a photo to go with their names. So a little bit about the art room. Here is a photo of it in case you do not stop by tonight. The art room is amazing. It's nice and colorful. It gets even more colorful as the year goes on, and we are creating more projects. But as you can see, the tables are sorted by color. You may hear your children talk about what color table they sit at, what their art jobs are, things like that. So here is just a photo to go with the discussion you may be having at home. A few things about our rules or expectations in the art room. They're pretty straightforward. Be respectful, use our supplies as demonstrated, stay in our seat unless we're doing our job, clean up our mess, be creative, use your imagination, and try hard. Now, my consequences are simple. A lot of times you'll see number 3 is phone call home. A lot of times I don't have to call home. Luckily, all the students are very excited to be in the art room, so oftentimes I don't have very many issues that require assistance from home. But just know if you do receive a phone call home from me, that means that I've already tried warning your child and moving their seats, both of which were unsuccessful. In the art room, you may hear your children talk about Mona Lisa pose. We use the painting as a reference for how we sit, since when Leonardo da Vinci painted her, he was able to paint her eyes. So they're always looking at the subject no matter where that person is. So if you're to the left of her, to the right of her, straight ahead, she's always looking at you. So I use that as a silly joke to tell them they need to always find me. After I say Mona, 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 they will respond Lisa, 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 and go into Mona Lisa pose. We do a little trivia in the beginning of the year, like who painted her, like I mentioned, Leonardo da Vinci. Where can I go see her in person? Which is in Paris, France, at the museum called the Louvre. And the one thing that usually surprises most of the students is how big is she? Because she is not very big. She's about 11 by 15 with her frame included. So she's pretty small for such a famous painting. A lot of times when you see it large on a board, you're like, wow, it's so big, when in real life it's not. The other funny question I always get is, how much is she worth? Now, France, specifically Paris, France, made a deal that they can never sell it. She'll forever live in the museum. But if they could, probably would be worth a few million, if not more. The things you most definitely will hear your children talk about is our golden colored pencil. So this is a school-wide incentive that gets passed around from class to class, and your children are trying to win the golden colored pencil. And they win it by, in the art room, we play teacher versus student. As the students follow the rules, maintain a low volume, things like that, clean up, they will get student points. If they are breaking the rules, I will get teacher points at the end of the class. All their student points, unless I get some, they'll subtract, will go into their class box. At the end of the week, I'll count them up, and the class with the most will get the golden pencil. And it will travel around the school each week, and the class that wins will be announced on DNN, which is our morning news that our wonderful library tech teacher, Mr. Seibert, runs. And they'll find out there. Usually I can hear them yelling in excitement from down the hallway, and I will give them the trophy to their classroom. When they come back to the art room, they will get to use clay. That does not mean that the classes that don't win don't get to do a 3D component. They usually do a similar project with model magic versus with clay. So they still get that 3D experience. But it does travel to just about all the classes as the year goes on. A little bit about the art curriculum. If you are very curious about it, there is a copy available on the MTPS website under curriculum. But basically, it covers the elements and principles of art. And those are the building blocks. The elements are line, shape, color, value, form, and space. And the principles of art are more how do we use those elements? So pattern, rhythm, all of the different compositions, that how we're going to bring them together to kind of build on our building blocks. This most recent curriculum discusses a lot of 21st century skills. So bringing in that problem solving, that how do we choose what gets displayed, what is a mural, why do artists make art, kind of more that why behind, and teaching them how to use their 21st century skills to use those art elements and principles. So again, I like to teach art as a problem solving class. I'll tell the students, here's the end result. I'll show them steps along the way, but they're able to choose their own path. And a lot of times in art, there's many, many, many different ways to get to that end result. So that's the fun thing about the art room. You kind of have that looser kind of discovery of how do I get to the end result. A lot of problem solving goes on, trial and error, things like that. In the art room, we use different materials. And a lot of times, especially with the curriculum, it will build off of the year before. So in the early grades, things are being introduced. In the middle grades, they're being refined and improved. And then as we get older, they're being applied in a more advanced way. And we're using more difficult mediums, more like the chalk pastels that are harder to manage our blending techniques. We'll use paint, we'll use watercolor, we'll use tempera paint. Like I said, with the golden colored pencil, we'll use 3D materials to create out of clay or model magic. And a lot of times, at least once a year, I will meet with your child's classroom teacher, and we will discuss a cross-curricular project that could either be connecting it from their language arts class, their math class, or their history class. And that way bringing and bridging that connection between art and those subjects, because there is always often an overlap. That is all I have for you. If you have any more specific questions, feel free to email me. My email is on the screen, cpurdy@mtps.org. And please, if you are on Instagram, feel free to follow the art room at art@Dugan with Mrs. Purdy. Those underscores are necessary, so make sure you type it in just like that. To stay up to date, I will post pictures of students' examples, of our projects, of school-wide murals, things like that. And again, welcome to my new families. Welcome back to our returning families. Feel free to pop into the art room and say hi, and have a great night.
Good evening. My name is Mr. Vanderhoof, and I'm the health and physical education teacher here at Dugan. I'll be going into my 18th year of teaching at Dugan, and I'm looking forward to another wonderful year. In phys ed, we'll be working on many different activities, some team sports such as soccer and basketball, some cooperative games to help us work on our communication and our teamwork, as well as some lifetime sports like tennis, bowling, and golf. In health this year, I only have fourth grade health. In fourth grade health, we'll be working on nutrition, making good choices, the health triangle, which incorporates physical, mental, and social well being, as well as some other activities throughout the two marking periods. If you need to reach me at any time, you can always email me at wvanderhoof@mtps.org, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope that you have a wonderful year, and I hope to speak to you guys all soon. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Acosta. I am a physical education and health teacher here at Frank Dugan Elementary School. This is my second year as a teacher in this school. In physical education, I teach kindergarten and fourth grade. Please remind your child to wear sneakers on their gym day. In physical education, we learn about proper sportsmanship and ways to encourage others through various games and activities. In health, I teach third grade and fifth grade. In health, we learn about wellness, nutrition, healthy habits, and ways to be physically active and healthy for a lifetime. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me through email. I'm looking forward to a great year. Thank you and have a great evening.
Good evening. My name is Mr. Oconee. I am one of the health teachers at Frank Dugan Elementary School. I teach 4 health classes at Frank Dugan Elementary School. In grade 1, I teach Mrs. Cagno's class and Mrs. Pandak's class. In grade 2, I teach Mrs. Coster's class and Mrs. Lester's class. This year, we'll be learning about the health triangle, nutrition, my plate, and healthy habits. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I hope you have a great evening.
Good afternoon, parents. My name is Mr. Williams, and I am teaching first and second grade health over at Dugan Elementary. The teachers that I'll be covering are Miss DiPasquale, Miss Battaglia's class, Miss Sheehan's class, Miss Kondakshi, and Miss Safranco's class. I've gotten to know your students pretty well over the past week and a half, but I will tell you that I can't wait to learn a little bit more about them throughout the year. Some of the topics that we'll be covering in health is nutrition, safety around the schools, and how fitness can lead to a healthy lifestyle throughout their lives. Again, if you have any questions for me, please shoot me an email. I look forward to getting to know your kids a little bit better, as I said before, and I hope you have the best back to school night. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.